Since I'm dropping this video in October, happy Glocktober to everybody out there. Since it is Glocktober, I thought we would do a little show and tell, have a little fun, talk about my Glock 17L, obviously set up for competition. And we will go over everything on this. But first, let's pull some triggers. What do you say? Before we get started, of course, got to get some Ear Pro in to go along with my Eye Pro. And today, again, using the Decibels custom molded earplugs. As far as ammo, we're going to cheap out today, going with some 124 grain Igman ammunition. As far as targets, I got one posted about 25 yards down range. We're going to go, one-handed competition style with this thing, see what happens. And just so you know, the red dot that I have on here, the dot, I forget the MOA on this thing, but the dot pretty much fills out, and we'll look at the target in a minute, pretty much fills out the black ring on those targets. So let's put about 5 down range, see what we can do. Form is, of course, important with this. Here we go. All right, let's go check out that target. All right, our one-handed target, 25 yards. Here it is. The center here, keep in mind, a little under an inch. So not too shabby. Up a group there at 25 yards. What I want to do is I want to post another target, and I want to go one-handed from our multi-cal steady rest. And I expect this to tighten up a little bit when we do that. Before we get to that, though, what I want to do is I want to take the Glockstrosity over to the bench and show you guys a few of the accessories that I use on that thing. Now let's take a look at the Glockstrosity and some of these accessories before we get too deep into it. 3 caveats that I want to bring up. Number one is this handgun does not function any differently than it did when it came out of the factory. It's a semi-autos, chambered in 9mm, yada, yada, yada. These are simply accessories that we're going to be talking about. Second of all is these accessories can be pretty easily removed at any given time as well. So let's say I decided I did not want to run one of them for competition purposes or whatever. Maybe I wanted to change it out for a different brand, different model. Very easily done. And then the third is this has been a project over time. And sadly, some of these things I do not remember the manufacturer or anything like that. So let's get into it. So we're talking about a Glock 17L. You can tell by the finger grooves and everything here. This is the Gen 3 version of the 17L. So we've got that. You'll notice the mag bumper down here. Now this one here is from Cane Arms, and a lot of folks think this is a magazine extension that allows more capacity. And while there certainly are those out there, this one is simply a bumper. This does not add to the capacity at all. It is more to help with the balance of the handgun in general. Moving up, we've got this beaver tail backstrap piece here. This is a piece I do not have a clue where that came from. When you're shooting competition single-handed, this right here to me really I really like it because it helps me to get a really nice tight grip in this area and in the web of my hand. Moving up, we've got the Halo charging ring right here. Now this is from Tandem Cross. And pull the mag. That is just an assist, if I can talk, assist for racking the slide. So makes that easier when you've got other things in the way up here. I would be trying to grab back here and rack. Just makes everything easier. You'll notice we've got sights. We've got the fiber green with the red front, or rather orange front. I'm sorry. And don't know the brand on those. I don't remember those either. So moving forward, you'll see we've got some titanium pins. Might be K&S Precision there, but I'm not exactly sure on all of the pins. And then we've got this ledge right here. This is, I believe, it's from Tandem Cross for sure. And that might even be a discontinued accessory. But it's basically a thumb ledge. I think maybe they called that the gas pedal or something along those lines. On top, red dot, we have the Vortex Venom here. It's been on this thing for a very, very long time, that Vortex Venom. And it sits on a rail, of course, that mounts to the front accessory rail on this and sweeps back. At no point does this rail touch the slide. For me, a super, super important point. You can see with the 17L, we do have a cutout in the slide that helps to kind of lighten things up a little bit. You can see that the barrel there is fluted. It's because that barrel is a lone wolf barrel. Two reasons for that. The first is the chambering in this allows me to do reloads and things like that to really tweak the ammunition, right, that I'm running through this thing. Very important for competition purposes. And then second of all, it is threaded as well, which allows the use of a compensator. And to that, on the end, you will see we have a Strike Industries compensator there on the end. And that helps to kind of mitigate that muzzle rise. Again, something else super important when it comes to competing in competition. I think maybe, is that it? There is a lot of stuff on this thing. That's why it is the Glockstrosity. So what I want to do and now is get this over on the multi-cal steady rest. We're going to repeat basically the course of fire that we did earlier. One-handed, 25 yards, 5 rounds, but we're going to do that from that multi-cal steady rest. And I fully expect those groups to tighten up considerably, but we'll see what the Glockstrosity here, hopefully it doesn't suffer from performance anxiety, and it will impress you. All right, get my ear probe back in here. Same target, same ammunition. Something that I forgot to mention, though, a moment ago is the fiber optic sights. I can actually see those underneath this rail, which is something that's really cool. 5 rounds, we're going to go one-handed, but we're going to use that multi-cal steady rest. Here we go. All right, let's go down, take a look at those. Here we go with the 5-shot group from that rest with the Glockstrosity, and you can see that multi-cal steady rest, an awesome rest. And when you use a rest, you take out a lot of the human error, and we certainly did tighten up the group at 25 yards considerably, shooting from the rest, and so just gives us a better idea of what that handgun, whichever one it might be, is more capable of doing without human error. Cut back over here, and I noticed that with the multi-cal steady rest here, must have not had the screws tight enough on it, because that last round, I think it was the last round, it shifted. I was so focused on the target, I didn't even notice when it shifted. How weird is that? So, there you go. The Glockstrosity for Glocktober show and tell here. Is it overkill? Yeah, probably so. Is it better than Kamala's Glock? 100% so. But I would like to know what you think about my 17L here. So drop a comment down below.